Today we're going to be evaluating functions. So how this works is you're going to see an equation for a function, and then you're going to see find, and then a value that they want you to find for that function. So just taking a look here, we have the equation f of t. F is just the name of my function, t is the variable of my function, equals t minus 4. They want us to find f of negative 6. Notice that this looks a lot like what you have before the equal sign here, but instead of a t here is now a negative 6. So what we're going to do is we are going to sub this value in so negative 6 in for t. So we are going to turn all of our t's into negative 6's. So left hand side is going to look like f of negative 6. Right hand side, t becomes negative 6. The minus 4 stays the same. This f of negative 6 right here just means the value of my function named f when t is negative 6. So this is more like a label than anything else. What I do need to do here is actually simplify whatever's after the equal sign. So if I simplify this, you can do this in your head, you can use a calculator. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10. So our final answer, which I have written right here, is f of negative 6 equals negative 10. What that means is when I plug negative 6 into my f function, I get negative 10. That's all we're after for today. When you're doing these on your own, feel free to use a calculator to help you out with anything you need help with calculation-wise. Let's try another one. This time my function is called g of x. My function's name is g. The variable we're using is x. G of x equals negative x plus 1. They want us to find g of negative 5. So we put negative 5 in for x. So these x's will turn into negative 5's. I didn't do this on the first problem, but in general, it's a really good idea to plug in, or to put the number you're plugging in into parentheses. Notice I also had a negative in front, so I have the negative in front, parentheses, the value I plugged in, plus the rest of my equation. Now we just simplify this out. We don't change anything about g of negative 5, that just stays g of negative 5. After the equal sign, negative 5 is the same as positive 5. 5 plus 1 gives me 6. So I would say g of negative 5 equals 6. The rest of these, the equations are slightly more complicated, but the process is the same. Sorry, this should be a P, not an F. Otherwise my letters don't match. I couldn't read my own handwriting. There we go. So this time my function is p of x, which is negative 3x minus 4. They want us to find p of negative 2. So negative 2 will go here and here. Now I just need to simplify the stuff after the equal sign. We kind of do this off to the side. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. So my final answer here is p of negative 2 equals the number I ended up with, which is just 2. Notice with this one, there's a lot of n's. So I'm going to have to put that 2 in for all of those n's. We'll just be really careful there. So if I'm finding f of 2, negative in front stays the same. Parentheses around the number you're plugging in. Third power stays the same. Minus 5 stays the same. Once again, when I plug in n, I put 2 in parentheses. Now let's simplify everything after the equal sign. 2 to the third is 8. But I have a negative in front, so it's really going to look like a negative 8. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. When I do negative 8 minus 10, I get negative 18. So our final answer here is going to be f of 2 equals negative 18. Last but not least, they're asking us to find f of 9. Here's my f equation. All of these a's are going to turn into 9's. So 2 stays the same, parentheses 9 here. Don't forget that exponent too. Minus 2 stays the same. Minus, you can do parentheses 9 or just 9 here. They both work. Now let's simplify everything after the equal sign. Be careful with this part, make sure you do the exponent first, then you multiply by 2. So 9 times 9, or 9 squared, is 81. 2 times 81 is 162. And if I do all of my subtracting, 162 minus 2 is 160, minus 9 is 151. So final answer here is going to be f of 9 equals 151. That is it for evaluating functions. So just to kind of retrace our steps, whatever number we see after the find is what we plug in for our variable. Once we get it set up, we just simplify. We don't do anything with that f of whatever in front or g of whatever in front. What we're really after is what's after the equal sign, which is the value we get. When you are plugging just a number in, you are going to get just a number as your answer. Hopefully now you feel really awesome with evaluating functions. Have a fantastic day.